Hello and welcome. I'm Lane Hawley, Director of ICMI's Community Services Division, where you'll find all of our expert editorial, our research, and our online forums for call center experts just like yourself at icmi.com. Today, we're in a new era of customer relationships. There are changes taking place in how customer services are delivered. What we want to know is what every organization needs to thrive in this new environment. Well, to answer that, I have with me someone who's recognized in the industry, really the global thought leader on call center and customer service delivery and communications economics, Brad Cleveland. Brad is an author, speaker, and consultant, and he's one of the founding partners of ICMI. He's worked in 45 states and more than 60 countries, and his clients have included many of today's service leaders, USAA, HP, Apple, and American Express, just to name a few. Brad, thanks for being with us today. And why is this topic important for us?
Thanks, Lynn. Great to be here. Well, we're seeing the emergence of the greatest customer movement in history, and every organization, every individual's got to understand what's happening today.
In a nutshell, tell us what's happening.
Well, there are a confluence of factors at work. New communication capabilities, emerging social channels, the fact that more and more of our customers are always connected, they're always on. These things are really leading to a change in mindset. For example, studies reveal, and I think we know this intuitively anyway, most consumers are going to go to search, they're going to go to a community, they're going to go to a feedback site and get a read on that company's commitment to service before they buy. And so bad experiences, even if they're one in thousands, from an internal perspective, can quickly end up on blogs and tweets and maybe video posts, and they're all quickly found through search. Good experiences, and we've got to remember this as well, good experiences make their way around as well. And organizations that consistently provide great service build very resilient, strong brands.
It's a fascinating time indeed. What impact are these new influences having on developments in business today? For example, call centers have been an important interaction with customers for many years. Is this going to change? Will it be more? Will it be less important?
Well, they'll be more important than ever, but their role will change. For one thing, they're going to become an engine to listening to and engaging with social communities, in addition to handling the more traditional interactions and expanded channels that are coming our way. The other thing they need to do, though, is play a level 2 role. Those interactions that are not handled by self-service, they're not handled by communities, they're going to be more complex, and those are the interactions coming at the call center, so we've got to be prepared. The call center more than ever will be an advisor to the rest of the organization as well. What are they hearing? What are they picking up on that can be used for product innovation and products and service improvements?
Sounds like that trend is going to make agent-assisted interactions even more demanding.
They will be, and they're more complex than ever. They're handling those level 2, if you will, interactions that are coming through self-service and communities. They're really going to have to listen for the organization. The things that aren't handled by self-service, that aren't handled by communities, are inherently going to be more complex. So these aren't entry. That's right. These aren't entry-level positions anymore.
Do you believe customer workloads for the organization and the call center will decrease?
It's a great question, and let me answer it this way. The nature of our workload is certainly going to change, and let me preface it this way too. We need to do everything we can to build robust self-service systems to engage with, to cultivate communities so our customers have a place to go, and we're actually a part of cultivating them, and to do everything possible to prevent calls from ever happening. The thing we need to remember, though, is service is elastic, and the better we make it, the more our customers are going to use it. Now, that's fine if we're growing our customer base, if we're deepening our engagement, wallet share with them, if loyalty is reflected in that, and our business results are reflected in that. The best organizations don't necessarily have less work. To get back to your question, what they are doing is handling the right kind of work. They're not handling nearly as much repeat work and that kind of interaction that can be prevented in the first place.
That's such an important distinction. We find the same thing with measures such as first call resolution. It's not just the percentage you're resolving, but whether it was the right call in the first place.
Well, that's right. And things like first call resolution, and that's a good example, they just don't mean anything unless we look at that kind of work and know what it is, and is it really furthering our business.
Tell us then, what are some of the key steps organizations need to take to prepare for these changes?
Well, there are several that come to mind. Let me give you four, actually. The first is they've got to build out a full range of access alternatives. Our customers want choices, and they've got a lot of ways to interact. We need to revisit our customer access strategy and make sure we're getting those channels out there and that we're ready to handle them. And that would be point number two. We've got to tend to the essentials, the fundamentals. Forecasting, staffing, scheduling, those sorts of things are not less important. They're as important as ever in this new environment because we've got a full range of channels. We've got a lot of different kinds of work, and we've got to make sure those basics are in place so that we don't have customers falling through the cracks in any one of these areas.
Let me interject a question on that point. I'm often asked if the fundamentals of workload planning have changed. Questions of how do we get the right resources in the right place. Have those changed?
Thank goodness, no. The fundamentals aren't changing. In fact, they're more applicable, more important than ever. You think of engaging with a social community. We've got to listen. We've got to interact where we need to engage. And there's some handling time associated with that. There's some volume associated with that. So the basics of workload and workload planning are intact. We just need to make sure we're applying them just as judiciously to these new channels that are taking shape.
You mentioned there are some other ways we need to change to adapt to this new environment. What are they?
Sure. So out of the four things, number three is we've got to take every opportunity during the service delivery to build relationships. We talk about brand, we talk about building customer relationships. That doesn't happen through a sweeping marketing campaign. It doesn't happen at a strategic level, although that's got to support us and be in place, but it happens transaction by transaction, interaction by interaction, half hour after half hour. We've got to make sure that we're taking every opportunity to listen to and engage and really understand our customers. And that's got to be baked into our tools. It's got to be baked into our expectations and metrics and the organization-wide support that the call center is getting. A fourth thing is that we've got to build a strong organization. And that's really, we could almost put that at the top of the list. It's really an enabler to everything else. Delivering great service doesn't happen in a department. It doesn't happen, it can't happen in a silo. We've got to build an organization-wide team that has representation from across the board and really building that culture, building the metrics, building the kind of organizational structure and responsibilities around a singular view of the customer. How do we serve them best?
Right. What are the benefits of taking these steps, Brad?
Well, the return for the organizations that really understand and cultivate these trends are powerful. Extraordinary loyalty comes first and foremost to mind. I mean, that's the enabler to everything we want to accomplish going forward. Cost efficiencies, the right channel for the right purpose, much more efficient environment, customer-driven innovation, improved market share, a boost to sales and revenues, and positive brand recognition, that kind of word of mouth we get when our customers consistently get the right kind of service through the right channel.
Right. And I can tell you believe this is a time of exciting change.
Oh, I'm incredibly excited about it. It's challenging right now, but I've never seen so much change in the customer service space. And every organization has a chance, has the opportunity to really differentiate. And everyone's going to win as they do. I might also add, individuals have enormous opportunity right now. Those professionals who help their organizations understand these trends and really harness the right kind of services, get them out there for their customers, they're going to have enormous career opportunities.
And elevate themselves. Well, thank you, Brad, for being with us. And to tell you the truth, you've convinced me too. And I hope Brad's convinced you as well. Thanks for tuning in.